Hey everyone, I was watching a video recently from Melissa Dougherty that I thought would be worth discussing, and it's a video where she goes to a prophetic conference to get a better idea of what it is that's being taught. Now, I don't agree with everything she puts out. I do think she's sincere, very thoughtful about her approach most of the time. She has some kind of funny satire addressing some issues within the church and Christian movements. But this particular video was really interesting to me for one reason, and that's the environment that I grew up in for most of my Christian life. So up until I was 30 years old, I spent pretty much every weekend and several days a week going to church, and it was in environments just like that, charismatic, non-denominational, word, like what we'd call today word of faith. And something that she said that was being taught was this attitude of expectation. And the terminology is used this way: come expecting, or imploring people to be ready to have expectation when they come to a meeting so that God will move. And what really stood out to me, because I haven't ever considered this before, is what that means. What exactly are we saying when we say that we should come expecting? The implication of that statement is that God will move differently when we come expecting. Now, I'm not saying differently in regard to his character. I'm saying differently in regard to that space. And so the assumption is that expectation and faith are the same thing, or that expectation is the fruit of faith. But what I want to challenge is the idea of expecting anything at all. And the reason why is expectation says that God will respond to my will. Faith says I will respond to God's will no matter what the outcome. Expectation says I have an expected result in mind, and you should comply. Faith says I have no expectation in mind other than I will submit and obey and trust God no matter what he does. And one puts the onus and responsibility on us, the other puts the onus and responsibility on God. Expectation says if I expect correctly, then God will respond to my expectation. I'm in charge. The other says if I have faith and trust, no matter what God is doing, no matter how dark or how scary it may seem, no matter how unknown it may be, that I will trust God anyways, and I will do what he says. And the prime example that we can go to make this distinguishment is actually in Hebrews chapter 11. All of these people are said to have faith. Now, did they have faith expecting God to operate according to what they desired? Or did they have trust or faith in God did they have faith or trust in God knowing that when he asked them to do something that he would be faithful to keep his end of the promise or the covenant? And one, again, is a response to God's nature and character. It's a response to his will. The other one is trying to assert our will upon him. So I'm curious what you guys think about that. If you've ever grown up in these circles, if what I said makes any sense, or if you think that there's something wrong with what I said, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic.